What?
Bobby?
He's beautiful minding it.
Bobby, what's happening?
I saw the deep web, and the deep web saw me.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
TheFreeRotation podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the Free Rotation After Dark.
It's 9:30 in the morning.
It's 9:30 in the morning, though.
It is 9:30 in the morning as of this recording. For the next few weeks, we're going to be discussing a darker tone here. We're going to be having like government conspiracies, dark web, alternate reality games. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited because I've wanted to do this for a while now, and I'm jacked. This is my shit.
This is what happened when Moreland leaves.
Y'all don't know, like, I watch this shit when I'm going to sleep at night, and I get fucking terrified.
So does Angie.
Yeah, I do this shit all the time.
And I watch it at work, and then somebody will tap me on the shoulder, and things go flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at kitty cat pictures on Reddit.
No, it's
I do that too.
It's the worst when my parents go out of town and I watch this shit. And I'm at the big house and I hear a creak. I'm like, I go to the kitchen and grab a knife out of the block. I'm like, let's go, fuckers. But no, today specifically we're discussing the deep web, the dark web, the Marianas web, all that filthy, disgusting shit. Though not all of it's bad, but 90% of it is. And I was on there years ago. So was Angie. Mm-hmm. Becky is.
I'm an innocent little potato.
She is our innocent little potato Asian girl.
Yes. Becky saw Tor on my computer, made me delete it.
I did. I was like, that is illegal.
She was like, that's the deep web. And I'm like, no, that's just a browser.
It's just no, because you can use Tor to browse Facebook and stuff. It's not just. You can use it to access the deep web and everything, but it's also it's just for protecting. It's like a super strong.
It's like
web.
marijuana. It's a
place to
gateway
start.
drug.
True.
But that's a good place to start,
Yes.
Bobby, and explaining what Tor is and how you access something like the deep web, because the deep web isn't illegal.
No. So I'm going to give so our listeners that don't know exactly what the deep web is, I'm going to give a nice little example. So imagine the internet is a cake, and the websites you use every day like Facebook, Google, YouTube is the icing on the cake. Like a half inch of icing. The rest of the cake, about 94% of it, is the deep web, and also below that the dark web, and then maybe even below that the Marianas web. We don't know if that's exactly real. I like to think some portion of it is. We don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, the deep web is there to protect is for anonymity. It's all the stuff that's on the surface web. So government documents, illegal downloads, drugs, filth. I'm trying not to say, but yeah, it's a bunch of vile stuff on there. But there's also is some good things too, and we'll delve into that a little bit later. But yeah, so the deep web, as we were talking about earlier, Tor is one of the many browsers, well, not many, but there's a fair amount of browsers you can use to access it, because you can't just Google the deep web. You can't just go through there. You have to use...
And you can't Google it because it's not they're not indexed web pages.
They're not indexed.
So what Google is it goes out and it takes these billions of web pages and it indexes them. That's why you can Google them and find them. So the deep web are unindexed pages. That's why all instead of a .com or an HTTP address, it'll end in onion. That's where onion comes from.
Oh.
Because Tor is the onion browser.
Interesting.
So instead of .com, it's .onion.
And an easy way of accessing this is using the hidden wiki, because that will have like, what are you looking for? What are you just looking for? Some illegal downloaded books, or are you looking to get some hardcore heroin?
Yeah.
It's all on there.
Well, that also brings up a good point. It's like, well, it's not that a lot of times like it's illegal stuff, but a lot of people still use VPNs to access it, right?
Yeah. It's really a lot of times, especially in this day and age, where protecting your identity and your privacy is super important, since this is a post-patriarch world.
Yeah.
It's the use of it has exploded in the last decade. It's gone up so much. It's just insane.
Well, I feel like it's also sort of gotten more popular just due to the fact that, like you said, the last 10 years with the Patriot Act, and the fact that there's a lot more insight now into the fact that the government probably does cover up a lot more things.
Oh, snap guarantee. They've been doing that shit since fucking Kennedy.
But a lot of
Guaranteed.
people
Yeah.
weren't aware of it until the internet really exploded. So
Yeah, it's interesting. The government created the deep web.
really,
It was a government.
It was
creation.
a Navy. The Navy used it, I believe,
Right.
or Air Force used it.
interesting.
Yeah, and now it's the
It's everybody using
well,
it.
it's yeah, it's because they also invented the internet too, or created the internet.
I thought that was Al Gore.
Yeah, the Silk Road was pretty much a government creation.
Yeah.
And it just went from there.
Oh, but yes, one of the most famous .onion sites on the dark web was the Silk Road. Do you wanna buy
And listeners notice that Bobby changed from deep web to dark web.
dark web? Yes,
So the Silk Road is a highly illegal website. Don't
it's
go look it up.
It's dark web. Oh no, it's not around anymore. It's been shut down for fucking
Wow.
years. But yeah, there are like
There's
copycats and
different
stuff.
versions,
Yeah.
yeah.
But so the Silk Road was the eBay essentially, or Amazon. I'll say Amazon because you didn't bid, you just bought of the dark web. You could get heroin. You can get sex slaves. You could buy illegal weapons. Anything and anything, almost anything. You can get like nuclear weapons or plutonium, that kind of stuff on there. But anything reasonably illegal was available on
Did
there.
it have like Prime 2-day shipping?
It probably did. I mean,
some
it
form
really
of it.
was an eBay for
Yeah.
for
It's fucking
illegal
bananas.
things.
And the guy that made it, I have his name here. Hold on. It's some kind of Germanish name. He's also known as the Dread Pirate Roberts. Yes, getting it from The Princess Bride. His name was Ross William Ulbricht. He invented it. He also, not only did he invent the Silk Road, he invented a huge online book service to where like you could it was like textbooks, fiction, nonfiction.
So
And he helped found Bitcoin
Yep.
because he needed something to function.
And that's what I was going to ask. Was this really where the beginning of Bitcoin
Yes.
came out?
Right. And what happened with Ulbricht is we're not quite certain he's the original DPR because when the FBI took his computer and they researched, they found chat logs between him and I can't remember the lady's name he was talking to.
Well,
It was all pseudonyms, but that person was like, "You really need to get a pseudonym. Just take up the mantle." And so you kind of make the assumption he wasn't the first DPR, nor was he the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people actually, I was reading a couple articles. Some think he was framed. Like he was. Yes,
He took the fall for
he took
everything.
the fall because like it's pretty much like you don't take the fall, I'm gonna kill your entire fucking family.
Because you got to think, DPR is brilliant.
Yes.
Genius, ran the Silk Road, and this guy got caught in the stupidest way.
Wasn't it the whole hitman thing?
No, so he had ordered a hitman
Yeah.
to take care of stuff, but okay, Bobby's DPR, he's walking in a coffee shop. I go up to him and say, "Hey, I work on the Silk Road with you, and I can't access a file I need to send to somebody. Can we use the computer in the coffee shop and you log in and let me send it?" He did.
Fucking
He
idiot.
logged into a public computer, and of course, the employee was an FBI agent,
Oh yeah, and there's something similar.
and they caught him. That's how they got him.
I was reading a big article by Wired. He was a kind of like a launderer for the Silk Road. He was some little Dutch man little old man like in his 50s in like Colorado, and he signed for a package at the door with an unmarked with a no return address and opened it, and it was heroin because like the dragon stamp on it, and they busted in on him. It was like, you fucking idiot! Like, why can y'all be so smart until you're not? It makes no sense to
Well,
me.
you know, the legend of, with my very vast knowledge of the deep web, the Princess Bride, which is clearly, you know, the Dread Pirate Roberts was just a pseudonym that was just passed
Yep.
on and on. So
Right.
he probably did pass it on, or so he.
Well,
got
he
passed
did
on.
pass it on. There was a secondary Dread Pirate Roberts who popped up and created Silk Road 2.0. It never even launched. They launched it, October 22nd or something like that? Instant shutdown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, time to put your tinfoil hats on, people. Are they nestled tightly?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the CIA has taken over. Almost, I would not be surprised.
Oh, as a way to monitor people who are buying illegal
Well,
things.
not only that,
And as a way to
get to fucking make
shop
money.
stuff out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because they did the whole thing with the Contras and everything. That's how they made. That's how they
just remember
supported
they
them.
were the creators of it.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty interesting theory. I mean, it actually is very plausible because not only are you making money for the CIA because people are purchasing it, you're also being able to pinpoint the people who are doing the illegal things.
The one hand helping the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What better way to track your nefarious groups than by being the ones to sell to them?
You just become part of it.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah.
But speaking,
I'm the Silk Road now.
speaking of the Silk Road, the figure varies from source to source, but people say either made from $1 billion to $100 billion, and it's 2 years of being on there. It varies. There's no exact number because with Bitcoin, it's really hard to
When
tell.
Ulbricht was caught, he
Yeah.
was incredibly wealthy.
Fucking stupid money. Stupid money.
I just can't imagine, but was it like vendors or anything like that?
Yes.
Or is it
Oh, there's vendors, yeah.
And what's really funny about it is there were user reviews on it too. It wasn't because you don't
It
want
was
to
just like eBay.
Because I'm gonna buy my Coke from someone, he better be 5 stars.
And that's right. And they would literally shut down
right?
people who were selling like inadequate items.
Yeah, or something like, here's powdered sugar, but I'm telling you that's cocaine. You know, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he seriously protected the reputation of his Silk Road.
If y'all are interested in learning more about the Silk Road and such, there is actually a really good TED Talk about it on YouTube. I would recommend it highly. The guy that does it's also hilarious. I really like him a lot. It's a
Okay.
video I sent y'all, I think.
Yeah.
That guy is phenomenal. I like him a
Because
lot.
it was like it was more matter of fact about the idea of the deep road and the dark web. It's like these things are deep road. I'm sorry, that's a Dragon Age reference. Deep web. It's it's a matter of fact about it. Is that
Darkspawn?
yeah, exactly. Because on the flip side, there's a lot of illegal stuff going on, but on the other side, it is being used for people who can't access.
Well, there's 5 levels if you count the Marianas level, which, like we said, we're not sure exists. There's been no confirmation because the Marianas. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There's
It's
a lot
it's
of
a whole
hypothetical
fucking
stuff.
thing. It's
But there's
insane.
4 levels of deep web, and then you get into the dark web, and you hit your 5 levels. So that's why it's called deep and dark, because you just continue literally down the rabbit hole.
For another example, like 1 and 2 is like standard internet. 3 and 4 is 3 deep, 4 dark, and then 5 is the Marianas. It's insane. But also, as Becky was saying, the deep and dark web aren't just for being nefarious. It's also people in like countries like where the government's tyrannical, China, North Korea, Iran, etc. Where you can't
at this
Russia.
point.
Yeah, Russia. Fuck, Putin's insane. Anyway, do I hear a Russian sniper? But no, it's for those people so they can access news that they no one want to get because it's so fucking suppressed in those countries, and it's also so they can talk to people outside. Like, hey, let's. And it's a whole thing on there, and there's also besides that there's also a whole hacker subculture on there, and not all of them are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually like, hey, I don't like this CP ring. We're gonna fucking find them and shut them down.
Like Anonymous.
Yeah.
Didn't you also tell me before that Reddit also has become really kind of part of that as well?
4chan and Reddit is starting to sink.
Yeah.
And when I say sink, I don't mean to a low level. I mean sink into the deep web. There are subreddits that
because there's
are
subreddits
definitely
dedicated
part of
to
it.
that.
There's even subreddits that end in onions. So
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
and if you want to explore the deep web, Tor is one that has stayed unique to itself and hasn't in any way caved to any government pressure.
Be fucking careful though. Don't fuck around.
Use a VPN.
Use a VPN. Use Tor. Cover up your webcam. Don't leave that. Turn it off, but also put a piece of tape over it. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because people on there will have no problem accessing that stuff, and then they'll start talking to you, and they'll be able to pick up details of where you're at.
And there are things that people can do that you may not even have a concept of that can be done, but it's easily done if you know how.
Don't explore too deep, because I did, and there are some things that are burned into my brain that makes me have a hard time sleeping at night sometimes, because there's some vile shit out there, some truly disgusting shit, and I would not wish that upon anyone.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, I know. Going back to the fact that we also do gaming and stuff. Welcome to the Game is based on games or things you find on the dark web.
Yep. I really want to play this game.
And everything you see on Welcome to the Game it is
based on
you can find on the deep and the dark.
Yeah.
And now,
especially the warehouses, that's something that's still kind of like, is it or isn't it? The testing and the human experiments.
Oh, that's in some form or fashion. It's probably a thing. Whether it's just extreme as they say, who knows?
Who knows? But it does happen.
I would be curious though as to how many. And I mean, you wouldn't know because it's anonymous web browsing. But Welcome to the Game's premise is the fact that you're exploring the deep web, but there's also a serial killer out there, also somebody who's tracking you and all of that, and seeing if these things have actually happened to people who have done that, or people being swatted for.
Swatting's happened.
I know swatting's happened. It's happened on Twitch. You've seen it happen live.
And that's where you call in your SWATs. You do it from there. Also, we know red rooms exist because very recently, the guy who ran the red rooms. And, I mean, he is charged in the world court for atrocities against humanity. So
I stumbled across one of those. That's one of the things.
He is. And he was smiling. I mean, the look in that guy's eyes was just crazy. So we know red rooms exist.
Well, there has to be some lack of emotional connection there if you run something like that. Like, it's all about the business of the money. You're like, you are taking away somebody's consent to live.
You're a fucking sociopath.
Exactly. And, I mean, that's the thing that scares me about it is, like, I know that there's this, like, stereotype that the deep web is the scary part, and really it's the dark web. But it's scary to think that this is what you find. Like, and, I mean, you could probably find it anywhere if you try and look for it hard enough. But the fact that this exists and it can be easily accessed by people is terrifying.
Yes, it is.
And just by accessing it, you could become part of it.
Well, and the government is always trying to find a way to shut down access to it.
The problem is it's like a hydra. You cut off one head, two more appear.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so much data. Yeah. You would think Google has indexed a lot of data. The deep and dark web are
Google is
infinitely more.
It's like a drop of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yeah.
There's just so much out there. It's ridiculous. It's huge.
So
and you get lost.
But I keep hearing the Marianas one. What is this?
Okay, Angie, since you probably know more about this than I do, because I've purposely not delved into this.
Okay.
You can. I know. I got the general idea, and it's terrifying. But you should go into it because it's super fucked.
All right, the Marianas. So you know what the Marianas Trench is?
Yeah.
It's the deepest part of the ocean that we haven't explored, and it's incredibly dark. Strange things live down there that we think, and we can't get there because the pressure is so huge. So anything that we think about the Marianas Trench is all theory. Well, that's kind of what the Marianas Web is. It's theoretical because to run the Marianas Web is quantum computers, which right now don't exist.
Supposedly.
That we know of. Because a quantum computer is terrifying in that you're talking about Skynet at this point. Mm-hmm. The quantum computer would have to exist in and out of reality at the exact same time.
Yeah, it slows down protons, in theory. It slows down protons.
It exists out of time.
Yeah. So
it's just there. It's just something that exists that...
It exists in past,
but then
present, future, and it doesn't at the same time. So when you're talking about things on a quantum level, you really are talking about those things that are running humanity simulations, and it's terrifying. And if the government ever controlled a quantum computer,
game over.
That's it.
That's something you don't.
We would never have free will again.
Well, where would these computers have come from?
Quantum physics.
Yeah, it's science that goes completely over our heads. You'd have to talk to a physicist and stuff. Even they might not even understand it. But in theory, well, there's also the Marianas Web. There's that theory, and there's also it's just so dark and deep. It's either really one of two things besides that. It's either where all the world governments keep their deepest, darkest secrets. Like, darker than JFK, darker than nuclear
Area
bomb.
51?
Yeah, darker than that. Like, truly deplorable. It'd be like, it'd be like Holocaust level shit is probably on there that we don't know about. Or, and I'm going to be descriptive here, people, and this is disgusting stuff, so you're easily triggered. I know we make jokes about that, but this is disgusting stuff I'm about to say. I don't like saying it, but I feel like to get an apt description with the Marianas, it could also be, it's this. It would be hardcore CP, scat CP, like just cannibalism, like just truly disgusting things, like the most depraved things you think humanity can do on there.
That's terrifying.
It is. That's why I don't want to delve into that shit. Because I want to try. I already have enough problems sleeping at night. That is on a whole other level.
But that would, you know what, having it called the Marianas Web is actually pretty apt because it's like you're only theorizing what it could be. It could be something like very scientific, quantum physics, something that doesn't exist right now that we can't explain, versus just the depravity of what we see in humanity.
Well, in level 5 dark web, you find a lot more of that depraved stuff. So, And we know that cannibalism is offered. It used to be offered on the Silk Road. Cannibals could meet up. So it does make you wonder, what is it? Does somebody have access to it? And I keep feeling like the Silk Road iterations, the 2, 3, 4, up to 5, that they're trying to, I think they're smoke screens.
Yeah.
For the real dark web.
Yeah. Well, and I think like they've realized. I mean, the current who runs the current Silk Road version of Silk Road's like, we can't have that kind of shit on here. Like we want you to make money, but even then, I think some of the at least even Ulrich, I think, had somewhat of a conscience in that, like, he wasn't going to delve into the children stuff.
Well, and on those chat logs that it showed between him and I'm gonna have to go look up that name. When the person was talking to him, they would say, "We think you should." Well, who is this we that's running the guy running the stuff?
Yeah.
Like we're always like, DPR is so.
I wouldn't be shocked though if a lot of this new technology, like maybe quantum computers, maybe something the government is testing out, like regarding the internet, it's being run through that just to see.
Would not be shocked. Would not be shocked.
Probably testing it. Probably a lot of pharmaceutical testing runs through there.
Yeah.
And different kinds of. I mean, we just don't know.
You don't know.
Like, I mean, that information has to be kept somewhere. It can't be kept on government servers.
No.
Fuck no, because standard hackers from China and Russia and whatnot can get into
Anonymous hacks it all the time.
The thing is, like, thinking about it is, like, how deep would I go if I ever used it, which I'm going to tell you right now, I would never use it. Not just because, like, I have a moral high ground to it, but because I have a job that could get me in trouble for doing stuff like that. But, the idea that the deepest thing I would want to find out is whether Area 51 is real. That would be as far as I would want to go.
My opinion on Area 51 at this point is, it's a smokescreen at this point. Like, everyone's focused on that, and I guarantee there's one, it's like a hidden base, like 20 miles away, that the real shit goes on, if there is.
Like the one that's under the Denver airport.
That
That's probably where all the shit
I would
really
love to do
is.
an episode on the Denver airport. That shit is so fucking weird.
Are you?
Oh, I love the stories about the Denver airport.
yeah.
I've flown
it's like
in there.
Skinwalker Ranch.
I've flown in there. It's fucking weird. Well, they've changed the murals. The murals aren't there anymore.
Oh, really?
The weird ones. But back there, it's fucking... I'd love to do a Denver airport episode. That shit's weird.
We should really do, like, weird locations. That should be an episode we do. Like, just not spoopy, but just, like, things like Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, I think Skinwalker Ranch could be
Weird.
its own episode.
Well, yeah,
Clearly,
Skinwalker's
there's
pretty,
so
like,
much.
intense as it is.
Yeah.
But, like,
But
spoopy places.
the Denver airport, and then the way it's supposedly connected underground to the weather controlling thing.
I swear to God, we're not crazy. We're having a bit of fun, too.
Like I said, Moreland left, and this is what opened the floodgates.
Dun, dun,
You got the
dun.
majority of two people who really do delve into conspiracy theories pretty hard.
I don't subscribe to all of them, though. The main one I subscribe to is the CIA was behind JFK.
I actually do think though that it's pretty brilliant if the and I'm going to say world governments because it would have to be at this point.
It would have to be.
It would be monitoring the dark web because it gives you so much more access to what's going on with people than just local Google as shit.
You know what would be a funny twist? Hear me out. I think this would be funny. That the Marianas web's not even there. It's on paper. Because then...
Oh, instead of it being something you can access through your computer, it's like just written down.
Yeah. I think that'd be interesting as the twist to it. But I don't think that's real. But
Or
I don't think...
even crazier.
Okay.
Check it out. I'm getting crazy now because I'm joining in because I don't have somebody else to offset the crazy. You ready? Here we go.
God bless.
What if it's not a computer, but it's a brain?
Ooh.
I was just thinking that because the best way to get caught is to write something down in any form. But if it's folklore,
or if it's something
passed
oral
down
and in your mind
and kept in a brain, because our brains are. What if the Marianas Web is our own brains?
That'd be fucking terrifying.
That's actually disturbing.
And it exists in every. We're all part of it and powering it.
That's terrifying.
Great.
It's
Now,
like the Matrix.
now I'm not going to fucking sleep at night, guys.
Yeah, Bobby's going to be laying in his bed like,
Maybe this is what the simulation is.
This
I
is what it
fucking
was
hope
the
not.
entire time. But, Angie, you mentioned that there's also some really good VR games on the deep web or the dark web.
There's a lot of good VR games. There's a
Really?
lot of good. Oh yeah, that's like the best place for gaming. If you're into alternate reality and VR gaming, the deep web had the first real VR games that were fully immersive, And I know I've talked about this before about how progressive Pornhub as a website is, but it is the most progressive website you can Google.
Yeah.
It basically is deep web.
Yeah.
It's just Googled.
Yeah.
It's indexed.
Yeah.
So, and Pornhub does a great job of monitoring what gets uploaded to make sure child pornography doesn't come on. Or
Yeah.
And if you email them like, hey, I didn't consent to this. This is revenge porn. They'll
Yeah.
Take it out.
Take it out real,
Like
real
that.
quick.
I mean, people have been prosecuted, I think, through not through Pornhub, but Pornhub has tagged it to where they've been able to prosecute revenge porn.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem is, I would love to do an episode about revenge porn too, because there's so much to delve into that, or like that in pornography in general. There's so much there. But the problem is state laws. A lot of states, like our state, have not. I don't think Georgia has revenge porn laws yet. Or they're not as
Because-
detailed as they should.
Yeah,
be.
they're not as
Well,
detailed.
there's a shady area because when I sent you the picture, I can send it to it. And I sent it to you. It's now your property.
But the thing is, you shouldn't be able to share that on the internet.
I
No,
want to
I
say
agree.
either it's been changed or it's being looked at as being changed, because I feel like I've heard something about it in the legislation recently, but I might be mixing it up with something else.
Yeah, but definitely, that's a whole thing. And Pornhub's great. Well, great for two reasons. But anyway, because I have a filthy fucking mind. I love that website because I'm lonely. It's fine.
But I mean, so hypothetically, these like the movies like the Unfriended Deep Web or Dark Web or whatever it's called. I think it was called Dark Web now that I think about it. And stuff like that. What fascinates me about the Dark Web is the ideas of people being able to like access you once you go into it. That's what's scary.
No, I mean, and that's
That's
why you
hard.
use like Tor, and I think the other one's called like ITP or something
And
like that.
and those always don't help.
Yeah.
They don't. You get someone that's seriously skilled and messed up and has the focus to do it, it won't matter. But fortunately, those people are far and few between. I've only interacted with one, and he liked me, so I was okay. Or she liked me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not assume gender here just because they're on the internet. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
it's 2019, so you're right.
I met a hacker once, and it was when I first even started on the computer, and the name, well, even still these years later, I don't want to say the username,
That's fair.
but I didn't know if she was a she or a he because you can't tell through language.
Yep.
Right.
You can't.
But I made sure to stay on their good side.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never want to fuck with somebody. Never want to fuck with those people. Please don't. I can't go on there anymore because Bobby did dumb shit back in the day. So.
Well, I would also like to mention the fact that it has the dark or deep. Whatever. People are gonna make fun of me for not knowing the difference. Well, not differentiating the difference.
Deep is legal, dark is illegal.
Okay. The Bitcoin thing, like how it really perpetuated a new kind of currency because of the fact that you had to operate in a third party.
Right. Well, we know it started on the Silk Road.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, they had to come up with a currency that was. Oh, so back before, I mean, Bitcoin technically is still traceable. But what they did is they had a washer that would pool all the Bitcoins together.
Yeah.
And then randomly disperse it to others.
Yeah.
The same amount. But then you couldn't figure out where this 1.1 Bitcoin came from.
Right.
Yeah, you had like laundering. It was like a money laundering, but through other people.
Which
I
was
got
what a lot of your gaming mining was. It was laundering bitcoins.
Yeah.
So when you'd hear about back in the day, people in WoW were mining gold and in
RuneScape.
Diablo
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it was such a big deal. Not because you were getting mass leveled in a video game nobody cared about, but because you were laundering Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This is how this happened.
Same with online poker as well.
Oh.
Yeah, online poker was involved in that. That's why a lot of them got shut down. Gold. They were not so much with Bitcoin, but they were doing it for the cartels.
I gotcha.
And also that's why under the Rock of Gibraltar is a huge computer system designed to store online poker data because they need to track that. It's not that they're saving online poker data. They're saving money transactions.
This brings up, it's kind of an off-topic question.
Sure.
But do you feel that the internet has made people more depraved?
Yes.
What gives you access to be able to explore something that you may think about and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna push that down.
Well, yeah, it's constant exposure. Now
Yeah.
you have all these things that have come to light that 50 years ago you wouldn't have access to anyway, like CP. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you back then day it's Polaroids and whatnot. Now it's videos and high def photos and that kind of stuff.
Well, and think about this. Okay, you're like, I think maybe I'm a little interested in spanking.
Yeah.
So you go to Pornhub and you look up spanking, and you're like, and you desensitize yourself to it.
Yeah.
Suddenly you need something more to give you that kick. You're like, okay, what about spanking is she didn't quite consent to that spanking.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder, a little more violent. And I'm not saying that every
It spirals.
step like that, but you just start looking more and more. And then you're,
Right.
you know, we talked about the call of the void, that voice in your head that's constantly,
Yeah, we had
hey, step off that ledge.
right.
Hey, put your hand in that, you know, and I would like to do an episode on the call of the void or some stuff like that. But it's always like, hey, maybe you should go check out.
Yeah, I just I've always explained it. I'm more of the I guess the optimist side is I think the internet has done more good in now than it has previously.
Oh, I think it's done incredible amounts of good.
There's with all the bad shit we hear, there's more good.
And I think it's like, I think Angie's right. The more you expose yourself to the bad shit, the more you feel like it's like if you have a job where you're exposed to bad shit every single day, you feel like that's all you know.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, because if you think about it, the internet, on the same flip side, this is why gay marriage is legal. This is why we're looking at more acceptance and more tolerance of other cultures and other religions and other that, because you're exposed to it.
Yeah,
more.
we're all connected. We're all super connected.
We're
now.
all interconnected, and there's a lot of bad shit on it. But I think Bobby, I think you said it right, is that at the peak level, 94% of people are probably on the deep web or lower than like Google or stuff like that, at the tip. Like, you don't go farther than the deep web, which isn't bad. I'm sorry, I don't want to pay $8 for a book. So I'm not saying that I do pay for it, but I was like, hey, I'm going to go download the song. I don't want to go to iTunes and buy it or get a video game that's illegal.
See, you're not talking about the deep web anymore. You're talking about the first level of the dark web. Yeah. If you go to torrents, you're talking dark web again.
Well, okay, but I'm saying that being probably the worst of the worst. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like first level dark web.
Yeah.
That's just torrents, illegal downloads.
And you're not going to get it. Well, okay.
You can't download a car, guys. Okay, I'm just saying.
I missed that meme. That's good shit.
But what I'm saying is that's illegal, and you can get in a lot of trouble. But it's versus child pornography.
Oh yeah. Now, I'll be honest. That is one thing I don't understand the interest or curiosity in.
I think it's a mental illness type of deal.
It has to be partially mental illness.
Yeah. And my curiosity has gotten the better of me a lot. I've gone to a lot of places like Bobby was talking about on the dark web. We've seen some stuff. You can also see a lot of just awful stuff on Reddit.
Yeah.
I've checked out Watch People Die.
Yeah.
Got terrified because there's shit that you're like, oh my God. And people dying in accidents. But then you also have people being bros. Animals being bros. So there's a good offset there. But yeah, I've definitely checked those out.
Speaking of CP, I want to do an episode on this too. There is it's gaining big. It's a subculture of it on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a big thing about it. It's like,
and YouTube won't demonetize because they're not really breaking any laws.
I think what we need to go ahead.
The thing is, the problem with that is not the demonetization. The problem is
in the comments.
Yeah, the comments they'll put timestamps of kids and suggestive. It's like suggestive positions. Also, their problem is that a lot of these channels are pop. There are some bigger ones that haven't gotten in trouble for this, but there's a lot of pop-up ones, and it's not even pre-staged stuff. What a lot of it is, when we're seeing, it's home movies.
Yeah.
Downloaded from
it'll just
Facebook.
be a kid sitting on a chair in the middle of a room, and somebody tells you what the kid and directs you to another site.
Yep.
And then that site's immediately taken down, so you follow it to this, and you only have X amount of time to do it. So they're following YouTube videos before they can take them down.
I think what we really do need to cover is maybe more like a real event episode, covering real life talk. I try to stay out of politics. I try to stay out of a lot of this, but stuff like that is stuff that's real, happening right now throughout the internet and all of that. And that's stuff that probably does need to be covered just for awareness. If we don't make ourselves aware of it, we can't change it. And that is one thing that needs to be changed.
This is why Twitch is very particular about the age level of its streamers.
Yep.
And they're trying to proactively protect kids.
Yeah.
And, you see a lot of people, I don't understand, he was 12 and blah, 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 and they took him down. Well, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Because those VODs get taken, uploaded. Like Bobby said, they would say, check here, here, here. And when you're on Twitch and your room is visible in the background and people can pinpoint your accent and trace anything you say.
I mean, look what 4chan did this whole Shia LaBeouf thing.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, so he posted like a video of a flag, it was a whole anti-Trump thing, and daring people to try to take it down. And it was just in the middle of a fucking field, and 4chan found out where it was by using the sounds of cars passing by and the time of day, and it
didn't take long.
It didn't take like a couple days.
Yeah, I think it was like almost 3 days, just right at 3 day mark.
Yeah,
found it, and it really was in the middle of nowhere. Took it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And 4chan has also helped people. Who there was a guy who went on 4chan and posted a video of him killing cats.
Yeah.
They found him.
Yeah,
I mean, within a day, found him.
You don't kill cats for people on the internet.
Oh, not on 4chan, you don't. Or kids.
Or
you don't hurt kids.
Yeah.
If you could unite all of 4chan and Reddit, well, I have some problems with Reddit doing that kind of shit because for the whole Boston Marathon.
Yeah, the Boston Marathon thing was a big
4chan's
issue.
more precise. I'll go with that's a better term. But if you could focus their attention on one issue for like more than 30 seconds.
I mean, look
unstoppable.
Let's say Hitler did no wrong. They focus getting Taylor Swift to perform at like a deaf kid school. Like when you focus there, they will do it.
And the founder of 4chan, they voted him as Times
Person of the Year.
Yeah.
Like you can get it. Like if you get it on the right.
And they did it in order of votes, so it spelled out like lazy cake something, or I can't think of what it spelled out, but it spelled out something, the people's names.
If you can get a group of people on the internet to like unite for a
cause, that's why that one mom
trolling.
When her kid was taken turned to 4chan because she couldn't get the cops to help her.
Did they find a kid?
They found him.
Wow, that's sick.
They found him, and this was a car in motion had kidnapped her kid, and they found him.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of the full story off the top of my head, but there's tons of stuff that 4chan's done.
Well, and I think like a lot of it is you get
they found hit and run cars.
Yeah, I was about to say like the internet is full of trolls, but for a cause, it makes a huge difference for if you're especially because you can't kill the gods amongst the internet, the cats and kids
or memes.
Even to this day, it's true that if you've been convicted of being a child molester, you get your ass whooped and or killed in prison.
Yeah,
even the worst of the worst are like, hell fuck no.
Yeah.
Like those are true stories. So swinging it back to like the dark web, the fact that this is something that can be easily accessed, it's scary but on the flip side, you put yourself out there to get your ass arrested and get your ass whooped. So think about that before you do it.
Yeah, don't wrap the episode up.
Yeah.
If you're interested, be careful. Don't go looking for something you shouldn't, because it's to the point. Yeah, you have VPN and stuff, but if government or other bodies want to find you, they'll find you.
Yeah.
But wrapping this up. Next week we're doing Cicada 3301.
Right. We're gonna continue our dark web or deep web talk because it was a game on the deep web.
That also got under the surface web as well.
That's right.
Yeah, because there were some subreddits.
We're going to talk about these, and it's super fun games to play. They're called alternate reality games.
Yeah, the biggest one. Well, the first big one was I Love Bees, right, with Halo 2.
Yeah.
But thanks for y'all delving into my craziness for a little bit.
Hey, this is also one of Angie's favorite topics. Anything government conspiracies, things that can't easily be found on the internet or in a YouTube dive. She's the same way too. Like, I'm sure that this is like going to be a good like change of pace for us because there's only so much we can cover in gaming and fandoms that we haven't covered. So this will be a nice change to let people know, like, hey, just because we like games and stuff like that, there is a lot of real life topics that are kind of fandoms. I hate to say fandoms. It's not really a fandom, but more so of an interest that needs to be explored.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, be very careful. We're not just saying this,
we're not telling you to go do it.
If you are underage, don't do it at all.
Fuck no.
Leave it alone.
Be 18. Be of a mentally developed age where you're not going to do stupid shit.
Be cautious if you do. I mean, this is like I said. I don't really adhere to the idea of doing it.
I feel like we're being the adults at saying don't touch that big red button.
But here's what the button does if you do it.
Yeah. So, but if you are, it's not all bad on there.
Right.
There's some really cool stuff on there.
Just educate yourself.
Mentally educate yourself, prepare yourself, do all that kind of stuff before. Don't just go like Tor. Monkey
Right.
slapping keyboard.
That's right, because you still need a VPN, and just understand what Tor is, what a
Yeah.
VPN is.
Hey kids, ask an adult to go with you on the deep web.
That'd be fun. Hey, Daddy, let's explore the deep red. What's this red room?
Yeah.
Red rum.
Jesus.
But, yeah. Hey, on an important note, guys, just as we're about to do our outro, hey, affiliates now get more emotes. Do you know that if with your Twitch Prime, you can sub to any channel for free using your Amazon Prime account if you subscribe to Twitch? Go to the free rotation and use it. I want a new emote. Scoop's face is hilarious, but just think if we could have two or three emotes.
My hair.
You could have your hair.
I
want a segue because anytime Angie plays a game, I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm out on the segue. Ride it out.
Yeah, it's actually become a thing.
Yeah, so make sure you go and subscribe to Twitch at the Free Rotation. Angie's playing a lot more scary games, and once I get my internet sorted out, I'm gonna be playing a lot more shit.
And we have some great news.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you talk about it. You know more. We have Twitch Sings,
Oh God, Angie.
and we have the.
Oh yeah. So Angie finally got Twitch Sings, which is karaoke for Twitch.
Oh, you're doing it with me, Bobby. I know you like your Whitney Houston.
I think it's
Don't
drunk.
lie.
I think it's so
you
fucking
can, and
drunk.
you can
That's
do it in the
fine.
comfort of the home.
God bless.
I cleaned my room. You won't get lost in there anymore.
Sweet.
And we also got approved as there's a game called Spellbreak, and it's a battle royale, but it's wizards basically, so you're fighting with spells. We got approved to be content creators for it.
Really? That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
That is awesome.
So we are now part of the content creator program.
Is
so
it on Steam?
It's on Epic Games Launcher.
Oh, I think we'd get that. I don't
Well,
have that
it's
launcher.
yeah. You just go and sign up and
No, I know what. I know what.
yeah, it's in closed beta right now, but me and Angie both have keys, so we'll be streaming it more. I cannot promise we will be good at it.
Well, no, it's closed beta. No one's
Yeah,
gonna be great at
so
it.
we're going to be playing that a lot more. So please go and support Spellbreak. It's a great new game. It's a lot of fun. If you're not good at shooters, like first-person shooters, this is more so up your alley because it's spells.
Hey, ask them if they can send me some merch.
You can. Why don't you ask them? Because we're going to tag him in this, right? Let's make sure we tag him. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a V-neck.
A V-neck Spellbreak. It's pretty cool. It looks really cool, and it's been a lot of fun to play. I'm not very good at it, and I want to get better at it. So
Well, we have to get better because we're content creators.
there's content creators.
I can create some
So-
bad content. It didn't say you had to be good
So,
content
hey,
creators.
ladies,
Yeah.
time to take a break from League of Legends and play some Spellbreak.
How
That's what I
dare
told
you, Bobby?
Angie.
Stop.
Listen, after you streamed last week playing League, you need a break.
Okay, Bobby, you've played enough League, and you played back in the day some ranked.
Yeah.
I was playing Summoner's Rift. I was support. Had Ezreal as my ADC. So I'm working on the back row, getting him down so he can last hit and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He says to me, "Stop hitting my minions." I said, "I'm not last hitting." He's like, "I don't care." So he was 30 CS behind by level 6.
Yeah.
He was 30 CS behind.
But then
Like,
he decided, okay, you can hit
And then he's like, "Okay, you need to start hitting the minions." We'd lost the lane.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I couldn't believe it. Like,
So Spellbreak.
that.
This is
yes.
why you're taking up Spellbreak.
You're absolutely right. You just had to remind me of that. Yeah.
So keep a lookout. We'll be playing that. Anyways, you can find us at Facebook at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at The Free Rotation. You can find us on Instagram at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at The Free Rotation.
Spotify.
God damn it, I made it almost that.
I
I
think
was
it's
like,
Bobby.
I was hoping nobody was paying attention for me to go ahead and
Well,
go
I got
through it.
distracted by the dogs.
Yeah.
And my sister's here for a couple of weeks, so that's the dogs you hear.
So yeah, just be prepared to hear a lot more dogs. But
Yeah.
anyways, shout out
Because
to
we
Christy.
can't get this out. We're not this talented to know how to peg that and get it out.
All right. And we are affiliates of Weeby Geeks. You can check out all the great podcasts over there at WeebyGeeksPC.com. You can also check us out on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasting from, except SoundCloud because we are not on there. And then you can also check everything out on our content at TheFreeRotation.com.
I'm on
Check
there
us
now.
out.
Whee!
Yay. But yeah, see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Frequency